Last week we had the provost, Jeanette Mendez. Today we've got the first Cowboy, Darren Shrum, joining us here on the Ocali. Darren, thanks for the time. We're really excited for this.
Hey, you bet. Excited to be here.
So I want to start the first Cowboy, first Cowgirl. It's kind of a role up for interpretation, is how I take it.
Right.
What's your take on the role? What do you want to do?
It's pretty much the same. The way that came about, too, was the very first night that Dr. Shrum was elected. Casey was elected or selected as the right person here. One of the people in the audience said, hey, so now you're the first Cowboy. And I said, well, technically that'd be the first Cowboy, but yeah, I think that sounds like a good title. So that's kind of how that started. Really, the title kind of evolves, and I met with Ann Hargis several times before actually Casey taking over in last July. And so I just told her or asked her a lot of questions about, what her role was, how she found what her niche was. And, she came up with the Pistol Pete Pet Posse and those different things and different organizations that she did. And she said, it took me a couple years to really find what we really needed and what I liked and what our interests matched up. And that's kind of what's going on with me as well. And so right now it's more of a learning curve still since we have, 25,000 kids plus, and we have several colleges. And so Haley and I have actually gotten out and tried to visit with every college at least 2 and 3 times. And we do that every day this week or every day then during the semester, so both semesters.
And I know you've been just recently pretty ingrained in that Opportunity Orange. Talk about that.
So a little bit of my history. So in college, I received a kinesiology degree and special education degree. And so I've always had an affinity for kids and adults, too, with special needs because it's just a group of people. And what I found back when I was 19, 20 years old was that, everybody wants to be treated the same. And everybody should have the exact same opportunities, in my opinion. And so it's just always been something I was naturally drawn to. And I really appreciate those kids. We've met with those kids a couple different times, and I think we meet with them again next week. And they're just a joy to be around and just seem like normal kids,
Yeah,
So.
Exactly. You mentioned 25,000 kids on this campus. Not many people get to lead that, but also not many people get to lead 6, 7, 8 kids that you have in your family. How has that prepared you for this role?
I think just life in general is probably prepared because, once you're around kids, and I've coached kids at different ages and all that kind of stuff. I never really coached professionally. I went into sales and marketing right out of college. But I think just learning to treat people right in general. I mean, that's what, my parents always instilled that in me that, treat everybody the same. Everybody puts their pants on one leg at a time. And I've just always lived by that, whether they be kids or adults. But, we did raise 6 kids, and it's interesting like everybody else. Nothing's ever perfect. Everything always seems perfect, but there's always its ups and downs. Every kid is different. Every kid has a different personality. And so I think coming here to OSU, it's just I think you have the same approach. You just try to meet everybody on the level that they're at, right? And so you just try to treat them with respect, listen to them, talk to them, and just sincerely care.
Yeah, and I've always felt that way about you. You're unintimidating, unassuming, very approachable.
Right.
So credit to you for that. You're welcome. How do you and Dr. Shrum try to keep it normal? You went from a pretty good leadership life to now you are the leader.
Right.
How does that stay consistent? How do you try to balance it out?
Well, it's very busy, and some people have asked me, how's Casey doing, this year and all that. And I try to explain it like this. I think things have, not the activity hasn't slowed down, but I think the job itself, because there was a lot of stuff piled on right initially with realignment and just different things, being new in the position and all that. There's a lot of things to learn, a lot of personalities to learn. You have to get your own team in place, those type things. But I think as far as finding a balance, for us personally, we spend every Sunday with the kids at the house, right? And so they come over, we cook dinner for them. And so we try to keep that relationship, sound. We have 4 kids living here now. 2 are one's in Oklahoma City, one's in Tulsa. So they sometimes make the drive up to get to see them if we don't see them at a game or an activity. And then Casey and I, we just find time. It's very difficult to find time, but we always try to find time. Casey and I have been friends. We've been married for 30 years, and I think you have to treat a relationship like that. And I think otherwise you'd really struggle.
Yeah. You see firsthand what she goes through every day. What's something that maybe she does, a quality of hers that you find positive that maybe goes a little bit under the radar for most people that doesn't get noticed as much?
Well, Casey's very serious about her health, right? Her fitness, right? And so she currently right now, I think at least 3 times a week, she's up at 6 o'clock in the morning, 7-ish, gets a workout in, and that really helps her start her day. And it makes her feel better about herself. And I think as long as that's all working, I think that's it just helps her better perform at her job. And again, like I say, it's how we all feel about herself during the day. And I think if she doesn't get to work out, she feels like she's cheating herself. But that's probably one of the biggest things is that she really just has to focus on. And I have to help her with that from time to time because I can kind of tell when she misses a workout or two because she just mentally you're just a little bit off. And so I just highly encourage her to keep that up.
Yeah. Yeah. I always feel like even if I just go out and take a walk, I feel 10 times better afterward.
You bet.
I know you're big into fitness. I don't know how you fit those guns in that shirt. Tell us about your personal fitness journey.
So really, I mean, I've played athletic sports since I was 6, and so just always tried to be in shape, because I have a tendency to get really heavy if I don't watch out, and so I have to exercise daily. And most people don't know this, but I'm going to go ahead and share it. So as growing up, since I was 6 months old, I was called Porky, right? And so people kind of thought that was funny. Well, even in college, when I was on the football field, they would call me Darren Porky Shrum in the announcements, right? So people didn't really know I had a real name, right? And I don't think I was too heavy of a kid, right? But maybe I was. Maybe and that wasn't really how the name came about, right? It was because of the cartoon, right? And so, but anyway, so fitness has just always been something that I've always had an affinity for. Like I said, I was a kinesiology major, did understand how fitness worked and what it could mean for your health, overall health. And, I kind of joke, but I want to live to be 100, so I'm not sure if I'm going to make it to there, but I try to do the things for the most part. I mean, I'm a little heavy right now than I like to be, but, I do love fitness and I enjoy it.
We've all been there. I'm a little heavier than I want to be right now. Right. You talk about bringing the kids at the house. How about that new house you got over by Will Rogers? I mean, felt like it took 30 years to build, but you're finally in there. Is what I hear.
It is, and the people doing the construction and the workers that are there, I've met a lot of them, and it's just a crazy nice place.
I know.
It really is, and so a lot of great people took a lot of time and effort to design and plan that. And then the guys and the people that are over there building it and actually finishing the construction has been just exceptional. So it's really a neat opportunity, I think, for OSU because they've never really had a place like that to exhibit. And then also, there's a lot of plans for a lot of functions to be held there with different student groups and different organizations that'll be able to utilize that house on a regular basis.
Yeah. I read something in a state magazine. You guys lived on a ranch in Coweta, had all that land. Now all of a sudden you got neighbors. Has that been kind of an adjustment?
It's kind of.
There was a funny story that I hope you'll tell.
Right. Well, it's a little different, because when Casey and I first got married, we lived in 2 neighborhoods, right? And so we were used. The kids were small, and so it was used to people just showing up on your doorstep, which I don't have a problem with that, right? So I don't know if this is the story you're talking about, but I will tell the story. So we were at the Lincoln House, and one of our neighbors, and they're all nice, and they've all came over and they've introduced themselves, and it's been great. And one morning it's early, it's probably 7 a.m., and I'm about ready to back up in my truck, and we're going somewhere, and all of a sudden my beeper goes off in my truck, and there's a lady standing behind me holding a bag up, right? And this is probably not the same story. But anyway, and she's really sweet, and she's an older lady, and she said, "Hey, I just picked up peaches, and I wanted you guys to have some." And so I said, "Oh, well, I'm really glad that I have a beeper because I probably would have just ran over you." And so, but she was really sweet and really kind. And so, from farm to neighborhood, it's different, because at the farm you don't really have close neighbors, and so it's different. But everybody in Stillwater has been fabulous. I mean, it's been nothing but a positive experience.
Yeah.
So.
I'll leave you with this. What's been the best moment so far?
Wow. So there's been a lot of moments. I mean, it's just, first of all, I'm very fortunate to be where I'm at, right? So I spent 32 years in the working force, I guess, so to speak. And so really the past 18, 19 months, I've just devoted all my time to do whatever I can do here at OSU, whether it's just visiting with different student groups, different kids, whatever, trying to build relationships and trying to help kids, that need advice about certain things, if they ask. I mean, I don't want to push it on them in no way, but I think those moments are what just really makes this just such an incredible opportunity for me. Casey always jokes that I'm living my best life, and I would definitely have to agree. It's just awesome. I tell everybody this will keep you young. You're around youth every day, and just the excitement, the vitality, and our kids are so smart. It's unbelievable how smart our kids are on this campus, and I know we're in great hands.
Darren, thank you for the time. This is awesome.
You bet. Thank you.